Network of awareness makes your brain coherent. One of the fastest growing podcasts. You can hear it 24/7. Got listeners out in London, informationalists in Paris. Echo spreading out, no parrot. Just dissect, digest, and share it. The righteous rhymes hit the spirit. Click 90 times, it won't perish. Cause y'all's the mind ain't no fairy tale like the valley our parents. It's time to rise, don't get wary. United minds, it's apparent. Download every single errand, but most ain't fit to catch it, even if they were Larry. Interviews, the interludes, they enter you, taking you on a journey like no other. It places you in a state of awareness. It's your fault if you hate the truth, cause Yahweh's on his way, my brother. Better change your views. All praise to Yah.
Yes, peace and greetings, people. This is Or the Informationalist from the Network of Awareness. And welcome to Tightrope Tuesdays. And this is episode 42, Vigorous Variant Vocation 3. And this show is brought to you none other than A1 Career Services, baby, where opportunity begins. Definitely check out A1 Career Services for your business, small business, entrepreneurial, employment, as well as hiring. Check out Danita Britton at A1 Career Services. We got a great show tonight for the live broadcast here in the Tampa Bay area of the Sunshine State of Florida. It's approximately 7:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are ready and live. Vigorous Variant Vocation number 3. Boy, are we going to cover a lot of shit today. And this is a series that I started in season 2, I believe, or season 1. It was season 1, actually. Season 1, I came out hard, people. I started in June of 2020, and I was just on this pandemic, aka plandemic, and I just wanted to really expose the truth and expose really the lies so we could better understand the truth. And there's a lot of lies when it comes to the Vigorous Variant Vocation. And one in particular that we're going to talk about, that's something brand new. It's called the Ninja. Can't even say it with a straight face. It's called the Ninja Variant. The Ninja Variant. Enough said. We're going to discuss that amongst other things on Tightrope Tuesdays. And because it is the righteous tightrope that we walk, that we have to choose to walk on, today's show is all about being aware, as always, and maintaining balance and being able to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And when it comes to the science appliance, the best thing you could do is stay completely away from it. And we're going to discuss many reasons why, as well as the propaganda behind what is now known as a variant. So welcome, brothers and sisters, to the Network of Awareness. And we'll be right back.
Please just tell me what's happening to me in plain English without the mumbo jumbo.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
Hello, positive people. You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, giving you in-depth information on society and culture in America and abroad, with messages of inspiration, with keen insights, reputable interviews, and much more. So now, without further ado, your host of the Network of Awareness podcast, Aura, the informationalist.
Yeah. Welcome to the Network of Awareness. This is episode 42, Vigorous Variant Vocation number 3. Now, if you are new to the Network of Awareness, the Vigorous, little tongue tie, the Vigorous Variant Vocation. This is something that I have presented in a way where when I first introduced this back in 2020, the reason why I came up with the Vigorous Variant Vocation, it was kind of utilizing alliteration to some degree. And what I decided to do is kind of give the best type of title that would present information in regards to the variant or describe the information that would be talked about variants and what their purpose are and what is it that they serve. And I chose to come up with Vigorous and Vocation because it is a very vigorous, persistent, tasking level of propaganda that is being pursued when it comes to the whole entire pandemic. And variance is a mission that was put forth in order to justify information in regards to disease, illness, and any other type of propaganda that was being presented, especially with the commercial media. And I brought this up because I talked about it back in 2020 of how the variants were going to keep coming. And initially, we started out with letter numbers, if some of you remember. And I don't remember the exact sequence of numbers, but it was something like the BH or the B42 719 and the H1 245 and all this other stuff. And they even had it to where they had specific numbered variants in particular areas around the world and even in some of the states. If you remember, New York had a variant. So did California. So did Great Britain. And speaking of Great Britain, isn't it interesting that a lot of the political figures, even their prime minister, Boris fucking doofus, is now, he stepped down and resigned? and you see how they're all dropping like dominoes. Watch, there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in government with Europe. And a lot of it has to do with pedophilia. But that's for another show. I just thought I'd bring that up real quick since we're talking about Great Britain. But when it came to the variants, there was this mission to constantly have different variants that come up out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden, it's given life. And then people start to believe it. And then people start to use this alleged variant as a form or as an excuse to want to prevent any type of illness from happening or from literally catching that particular variant. And if you remember, I did a quick little presentation with the word Omicron and Delta, and it spelled out media control. That is not a coincidence, right? Because what are the chances of Omicron and Delta spelling that out, amongst other words? It wasn't that was only one that I presented, but there was people that presented a bunch of them, and it proves for those that are awakened that there is a lot of witchcraft and spelling that's going on behind this agenda of depopulation. And when it comes to the variants, when it comes to witchcraft and magic, this is no different. One of the variants was called Delta. Another one was called Omicron. They have a new variant that I'm going to talk about that's called Ninja variant. And sometimes when I talk about this stuff, I joke around saying they're going to come out with the shenanigan variant. But I think that, in my opinion, I think all the variants are shenanigans. But if this comes from anybody from the CDC or the WHO or any governmental medical agency or institution, people are going to believe it without question. And for many of you that may not know this, but variants don't really exist. There's a scene that I want to record and I want to play it. If you remember, I'm going to talk about it. It's from the movie Wolf of Wall Street. And the character that had a very pivotal scene within the movie was Matthew McConaughey, because his character was representative of how Wall Street brokers really operate, especially back in the 80s when they didn't give a fuck. They still don't give a fuck, but they're very cautious now. Back in the 80s, it was the Wild Wild West in when it came to Wall Street. And those that are older know what I'm talking about. In that scene where he's talking to Leonardo DiCaprio's character, which is Jordan Belfort, he's like Jordan Belfort's mentor. And he's talking about how things work in business when it comes to the stock market. And he's like, fuck the clients. He says, all you care about is putting food on the table. And he says, we make them buy, and we keep selling. And while they're buying, thinking they're making money, and he's like, technically on paper, they are. He says, we're bringing in cold hard cash via commission, baby. And when you think about how the system works, the system of this corporation called the United States of America, they operate like that with everything. And that's what the variants serve. The variants serve as a digit, as something that's not real, but is perceived to be real. And it's an investment. in how severe, aka the virus, really is. And how will we know how severe a virus really is if there's not some type of variant that's going to determine the severity of the actual illness itself? So they need something to pump into the minds of the sheeple, of the masses, to say, hey, I know we had, variant such and such. And variant such and such was making people lose their sense of taste, their sense of smell. Some of them got their vision blurry, blah, 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 right? But then, once that seems to fade out, they need something else. And this is how slick they was and how slick they are. But we see them. Every time a new variant comes out, as they transition from numbers to names, if you notice or take notice and become aware of this, this is very important. Every time they come out with a variant, that variant is the same type of symptoms that people have after they take a science appliance. So whatever type of adverse reactions are happening, now you can come out with something to serve that, and you have something called a variant to describe it. And when people started getting chicken pox and monkey pox, or really just pox, they called it the monkey pox. And now there is a shot for specifically to prevent monkeypox. Now, is there any validity to that it will? Obviously, for those of us that are in this truth, we know it's a crock of shit. But for the deaf, dumb, and blind, for those that are being judged, it's over. It's over for them. And that's another thing I want to talk about is that, as I'm watching some of these videos of parents that are taking their children into these places to get the science appliance, it's sad, it's disturbing. That's all the obvious. But from a deeper perspective, I feel like a lot of people, not just these parents, but I mean people in general like this, that don't even want to take a chance, don't even want to take a small opportunity to figure things out and learn a little bit more about what's going on in regards to their health. And maybe just listen to a couple of people, because if you got a nice group of people that are like, hey, this is not good, this is not right, maybe you should listen. But so many people don't. And I personally feel, and my own perceptions is that this is part of judgment. I think people's lack of enthusiasm to learn about things, or people's lack in wanting to really be educated, is a sign of their judgment. The fact that they lack the motivation or inspiration to be invigorated within them, to search for something more or to search for the unknown and to be more educated, I think it's just part of their judgment. I think some people are so narrow-minded that is their judgment. That is their curse. That is what leads them to their demise. And that further proves that we are in a spiritual warfare, because there's a lot of people that didn't want to listen. And now they're suffering extreme and great consequences and great suffering. I'm talking about, if you've ever seen somebody on anaphylaxis, that is suffering on steroids while awake. So believe it, that a lot of the ignorance, right? Like Obi-Wan Kenobi said, it's a level of stupid I have not seen in a long time. So let me pull up some of these articles. And let me get some of my alkaline water first, because I know I'm going to be talking straight and persistent in my speech. So let me get some H2O. Now, people, I'm just so happy that a lot of information is finally coming out. Because back when I first started podcasting and talking about this, there wasn't a lot of people talking about it. There was a few brave souls that was out here, just like I was driving. I was one of the only people driving out here in the Tampa Bay area. It was like the apocalypse. I was the only person out here, or one of the only people, I shouldn't say the only. I was one of the only people out here just doing my thing, man. I wasn't in a state of fear. I wasn't even operating in fear. I was operating more in peace of mind. And I think part of the reason why I was operating in peace of mind so much is because it was so quiet. Especially driving. Felt like I was in I Am Legend. I was Will Smith in Manhattan driving. All right, so there's so much to talk about in regards to this pandemic. And shout outs to wifey. A lot of you know that my wife is a nurse. So I do get a lot of information from her. I've had her on the show twice, and she'll be back for more. But she won't be always operating in the capacity of a nurse while on the show. Always will answer questions, but she'll be talking about other things on some of the future shows. Stuff like relationships and some stuff that's not so serious, more humorous and entertaining things. But let's talk about these science appliances. And for all of you that don't know what the science appliance is, ask somebody that listens to the Network of Awareness. It's kind of self-explanatory at this point if you don't know what the science appliance is. But we have to speak in this language. So it is what it is. And shout outs to the brothers and sisters in the chat room. Yes, today Sister Nama is Raw Uncut Network of Awareness. We're back. So when it comes to the science appliance, to prevent, it says COVID science appliance prevents recipients from ever acquiring true immunity. People, if you cannot see that there are other species besides human beings on the planet, I don't know what to tell you. But this is their work. This is the fruits of their labor. You got people being born without immune systems. The British government has admitted that getting science appliance for the Wuhan coronavirus, COVID-19, destroys the human immune system and prevents recipients from ever acquiring full immunity. And of course, they have a picture of a young teenage girl. I wouldn't even say young teenage. I would say this girl's about 12 years old. Now let's take a look at the actual article, because I do want to read some of this information to you, brothers and sisters. Okay. Damn it. I hate when they put these damn advertisements, man. We got to press X all over the motherfucking place. Okay, so the latest Science Appliance surveillance report says that in week 42 from the UK, the Health Security Agency reveals that the letter N, antibody levels in the jab appear to be lower in people who acquire infection following 2 doses of the V. What does this mean is that injections do not stop a person from becoming infected, nor do they stop transmission of disease. Now, it's interesting that you have these government agencies talking like this because if you remember, in the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, they was very adamant that all of these different doses of this hocus pocus was going to save everybody. It was going to make the world a better place. It was going to make the world safer. Now, the rhetoric for the past 6 or 7 months is that there's no guarantee. So if there's no guarantee, why did they push it so hard? Why? Maybe because there's a bigger agenda to depopulate the fucking planet. Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe it's really that simple for you simple Simon motherfuckers. Or like I like to call them, the COVID cadets. COVID cadet reporting for duty, sir. So it says, what does this mean? That the injections do not stop a person from becoming infected, or nor do they stop transmission or disease? Is that what they're saying? Ooh. In fact, the fully vaccinated are actually more susceptible to testing positive and getting sick from supposed Chinese germs. What the British are saying is that they are now finding that the V interferes with your body's innate ability after infection to produce antibodies against not just the spike protein, but other pieces of the virus, writes Alexis Berenson on his Substack blog. Specifically, vaccinated people don't seem to be producing antibodies to the nucleocapsid protein, the shell of the virus, which are a crucial part of the response in unvaccinated people. In other words, the fully vaccinated are much more vulnerable to contracting mutations in the spike protein even after they become infected and recover. The same people will continue to get sick from the Fauci flu for the rest of their lives as well, because their immune systems now lack the ability to develop real immunity. Ooh, wow. Wow. Let me give it the official wow.
Wow.
As far as the new Omicron, look at it, I like what they wrote. They said as far as the new Omicron moronic variant is concerned, which is not new, people. It's quite old now. The new one is the Ninja variant. Only people who receive injections are catching it so far. There is not yet even one single case of moronic that has been identified in an unvaccinated person, suggesting that the non-jab may be immune to it while the jabbed are not. The non-jabbed will also likely be immune to any other variants that may pop up in the months and years to come. You notice how they say month and years, because it's true. This is what the Vigorous variant Vocation is all about. It is a vigorous mission to continue to bring about new and improved variants out of their ass so that it can continue to validate that this thing called Gaga-19 is real for you fucking dummies that still think it is. It says that the virus is likely to select for mutations that go in exactly that direction, because those essentially give it an enormous, vulnerable population to infect. And it probably is still more evidence that vaccines may interfere with the development of robust long-term immunity post-infection. It will likely take some time for the consequences of all this to fully manifest. For now, the deception that getting injected helps to save lives will probably continue, at least amongst those who get injected are now in denial about what they have done to their bodies. Ain't that the motherfucking truth? It's something that I'm noticing with people. I even notice it with family members. They think I don't notice it because I don't really talk to family like that. But I'm going to tell you like this, people. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm pretty sure you know some of these people in your own family or very close-knit friendships. People, pay attention to older folks. And I'm not talking about just senior citizens. I'm just talking about grown-ass men and women in your family. Okay, I'm a grown-ass man. I'm in my 40s. If you're in your 30s, you're a grown-ass man. In your 40s, in your 50s, obviously 60s and 70s, right? You're an old grown-ass man. What I want you to notice, though, and this goes for both men and women. I'm just saying grown-ass man because it sounds good. Pay close attention to people that are doing things that they normally don't do, but are doing them now. And they're doing them with a lot of passion and a lot of enthusiasm. I'll give you some examples. Have you noticed, or have you ever noticed, that since the science appliance was given and months have passed by, now we have at least a year or more that has passed by for some individuals that took this shit? Pay close attention to a lot of people that are doing things that they normally didn't do before. Let's give you some examples. Let's say that cousin Richie or Uncle Richie all of a sudden is turning 55 years old or 54 or 52 or 50 or 60 or whatever. Now all of a sudden they want to have a birthday party. But cousin Uncle Richie doesn't really do birthday parties like that. That's not a big deal. But now all of a sudden it is. Or let's say, Aunt Glenda, let's say Aunt Glenda never used to be on social media, never was one to do selfies or make little posts about them being on the beach or posting up their food and talk about how they're living life up to the fullest and all this shit. Now all of a sudden, Aunt Glenda is doing a bunch of that shit. She's all over social media, talking about how we got to live life to the fullest and do this and do that. And, God is good all the time type of shit. But you're like, why Aunt Glenda's doing all of this all of a sudden? And I'll tell you why a lot of people are doing this. It's because of that last statement that I read. You got a lot of people that are having a multitude of adverse reactions, a shitload in their body, in their life right now that they are dealing with. And there may be nobody that knows about it, or only those that are very close to them, like their husbands, their wives, their significant others, if they decide to even share some of this shit. Because it's like I told y'all a while back. If you're somebody who has, let's say, sexually transmitted disease, I don't care what it is, you don't want to tell nobody. And if it's curable, you want to get that shit cured as fast as fuck and forget about the shit and not even discuss it with anybody. That's how most people would deal with something like that, because it's embarrassing. It's just like rape. A lot of people don't want to talk about rape because it's fucking demoralizing. And it's it's traumatizing to a degree I can't even fucking imagine. So people don't want to discuss that type of shit. It's no different with this. There are people that don't want to admit to their fuck up of choosing to put some satanic fucking alien substance into their body. And now that they did and time is passing, they are getting all types of funny shit happening to them. They're getting weird type of diarrhea. They're having weird type of nosebleeds. Like I shared on the Instagram that I was talking about, where the girl pulled out this fucking glop of synthetic jello blood out of her fucking nose. You have a lot of people that are going through this type of shit as we speak. And a lot of those people, some of the examples that I gave you, just notice their behavior. They're doing a lot of shit that they normally don't do because they're feeling a certain type of way. They're feeling on a subliminal spiritual level, they're feeling like something ain't right. Like, let me take some proper precautions. Let me sign that motherfucking will that I've been procrastinating on. Oh, I'm motivated to sign it now. Why? Why are you taking it so seriously now? Why all of a sudden you're deciding to get off your ass and start pursuing your fucking bucket list? Maybe it's because you are debilitating and you're not telling nobody anything. Maybe you are having some major health issues that some of you are seeking medical attention for. And you know what the doctors are mostly going to do? They're just going to give you more fucking prescriptions. And some of you are not getting medically treated. Some of you are hoping and praying that it just goes away. Somehow, some way. And a lot of you are living the Viva Loca now. Now you're doing everything. Now you're going to church, you're tithing, you're doing all types of shit that you've never done before. But now all of a sudden you're doing it all the time. And it looks like you had an epiphany or something. No, but what you're having is a form of an epiphany because you start to realize that when your health is fucked up, you want to start appreciating life like never before. It's no different than when somebody gets diagnosed with cancer. People get diagnosed with cancer and it changes their outlook on life. And depending on what type of person they are, it's going to change their outlook in certain ways. But for the most part, if it's a decent, upright person, they are going to want to right all their wrongs, and they're going to want to, do everything in their power to be worthy of forgiveness and to also appreciate things that maybe they looked over or took for granted. And then while they're dying from their cancer, they're working on all those things and living living out their higher self based on the time that they have left. They take life way more serious. And they look at it from a much, much better perspective. So it's something I wanted to bring up real quick in regards to this, because I know there's probably many of you out here that are listening to this broadcast and those that download the show that there's things you're noticing with people in your circles or in your family, people that are just doing shit they normally don't do. And it just so happens that they're doing it 6 to 12 months after taking the science appliance. I'm just saying, do the math. Put 2 and 2 together. All I could say is that they are doing that. I guess that's a good thing. But I also feel like this is just judgment, man. This is judgment. This is something where a lot of people failed. And it wasn't even a hard test. Because you have so many people in this country called the United Serpents of America, which I'm talking about. How many people out here always bitching about their jobs? My job this, my job that, these motherfuckers at the job, and blah, blah, blah. Always bitching about work. But it was a lot of those same people that when it was time for them to make a decision on whether getting the science appliance or keeping their job, a lot of them got that fucking science appliance to keep that fucking job that they hate so much. People were being tested, man. Some people called it a IQ test, and some people called it a spiritual test. And whatever test you want to call it, it was a test. A test that either was going to help you to live or to rest. And I'm talking about the rest that you don't wake up from. And a lot of people failed. And there are people still failing. There are people failing their children because it's judgment. There's something missing from people spiritually. I believe this to be true. I cannot prove this. This is my own opinion. But I truly believe in the world that we live in and the things that I've been seeing in my personal life and just looking as an observer as well. And as somebody who is a messenger, and I receive a lot of this information in a way and interpret it in a way that the Most High graced me with to understand the dimension that we're living in. And I could tell you that there is something missing. There is something that's not coded in the coding of the DNA of most human beings, most spiritual beings here that are having a physical experience. There's some type of essence. There's some type of code or ingredient that is missing from the spiritual being having a physical experience. And because there is something missing, it's what caused them to make these poor decisions. Because there's something that doesn't allow them to embrace, feel, or even be influenced by any truth. And even when the truth smacks them in their face, they still spit upon it. They still shun it. That to me is judgment. There's something that is not there for them. There's something missing. It reminds me of when the Most High was taking the firstborn children from Kemet. Think about that. There was those that had the blood on their doors, and then there was those that didn't, and those that didn't suffered. But it's vice versa. There's people that they don't have something inside of their spirit that's allowing them to be like, nah. Where you have other people that I've helped, and I've experienced this personally in my own life, where I've had experiences where people were going to get the science appliance. And then I spoke to them, and then they decided to cancel that shit and not look back. You had people like that too, because there's something still in there. There was a reason why I had that conversation with them. And I'm not the only person who's done this. There's probably hundreds of thousands of people like myself that gave a message that needed to be given at a specific time and saved that soul from submitting their will to Satan through their blood, giving their blood sacrifice to Satan. Because that's what a lot of this is. From a spiritual perspective, this is all blood sacrificing. Because people are willingly sacrificing themselves to a demonic power. And that demonic power is being injected and infused into their spirit for life. And it can't go nowhere. It's there. They have bonded. If you've taken this shit, you've bonded yourself to Satan. I don't give a fuck what anybody says or thinks, and all this bullshit is just a fact. That is a fact. That is not a perception. That is just the truth. And when we look at some of these blood clots, these fucking blood clots don't look like blood clots, or at least what a normal blood clot is supposed to look like. And there's so much of this shit with every single person that passes on. They pull this shit out their body. Some they pull it out when they're alive. But most people, when they pull out these blood clots, this shit looks alien. It looks like something from a sci-fi movie that we saw in the 80s and in the 90s. This is a time where either it's really this simple. Either you got some type of connection to the Most High, or you don't. And this depopulation vocation, it's fucking real, people. And the variants are just here to support the manipulation. It's here to support a propaganda train that has left the station and is never coming back. So let's process some of that, because I know this is a touchy subject for people. I get it. But just because it's a touchy subject and we live in a sugar-coated society doesn't mean that I am going to beat around the bush, because there ain't no time for that. And if I could show you the videos, I will, but I will on the TV network, on networkofawareness.tv. You will see images of people having anaphylactic shock and all other types of shit I'm going to be showing. Because I'm going to be showing it raw. I'm not fucking hiding shit. That's why you got to pay for it. If you don't pay for it, you don't get to watch it, and it is what it is. I don't got to worry about no fucking shadow banning and no fucking censorship. It's going to be network of awareness, raw and uncut. If you think this shit is fire, what I do on the podcast, it ain't shit. This is peanuts compared to what I'm going to do on TV. But I still am going to talk about this, people, because this shit is relevant. It's been relevant since it's been introduced, and it hasn't gone anywhere in its relevancy. Matter of fact, it's build momentum. The only reason why a lot of people think that it's died down is because the media has died down in talking about it. All of a sudden, we went from this shit to talking about Ukraine and giving money and all that shit. That's all. It's all about whatever they make important, whatever becomes their topic of discussion to go viral. That's what goes viral. But I'm telling you right now, this manipulation, this social engineering and propaganda train and social conditioning and medical tyranny, this shit has been very consistent. It's gone nowhere. It's just been pushing through, even when they don't talk about it. It's still people right now. Matter of fact, there's people right at this very moment. There is a COVID cadet out there ready to get their fucking stamp of approval. Let's take an intermission and we'll be back. You're listening to the Network of Awareness. I am the owner and founder of the Network of Awareness, or the Informationalist. And I want to thank you for joining this live broadcast and tuning in to the Network of Awareness. Let's go.
In the mix.
Yeah, we ready for war. Moving on one accord. Brethren at my side. We just gotta endure. Taking my thoughts and bringing to Christ. Throwing down imaginations. I'm just trying to stay patient. Stand fast, can't wait. Yeah, we ready for war. Moving on one accord. Brethren at my side. We just gotta endure. dodging demons like the Matrix. I'm just trying to go home. Swore made it that truth, so I just gotta move on. Ready for war, ready for death if it go like that. So if I die, I pray that I die for the most high God. I can't turn around, I can't look back, so it's all out war. I'm seeing the path so narrow, careful to not fall. Get up for it's too late. Sun come with a blaze with a judgment in that day. Won't see where the sun went all black like sackcloth and the moon blood. This is a warning to go and repent. This is a warning to seek out the Lamb. This is the point where you go and examine. Gotta stay patient, I'm looking inside. Trust the Most High with all of my life. I love all my brothers, we suffer with Christ. When it feel like death, just know that it's life. Don't give up, Christ paid that price. Don't give up, Christ paid that price. Yeah, we ready for war. Moving on one accord. Brethren at my side. We just gotta endure. Taking my thoughts and bringing to Christ. Throwing down imaginations. I'm just trying to stay patient. Stand fast, can't wait. Yeah, we ready for war. Moving on one accord. Brethren at my side. We just gotta endure. Dodging demons like the Matrix. I'm just trying to go home. Swore made it that truth, so I just gotta move on.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
In the mix.
This road is full of pain, but it's in the plan. The Lord knows you struggle and He's got your hand. The world is like a tower that's about to fall. It's hard, but do it all. You can count on
Thank Lord for a new day. Hands to the east, all praise Yahweh. Yeah, I'm feeling grateful, feeling good about all the choices I've made. Lord knows I ain't perfect, I live in a glass house. I stay humble, never ever try to act out. Never thought I'd make it this far, so I gotta thank Yah, cause I ain't even tapped out. I made a promise, I gotta keep it. If I don't, I'll feel defeated. I failed before, and I won't repeat it. But ironically, the failure is what I needed, cause it gave me motivation. The memories, I won't erase them. Salvation's close, I can almost taste it. Even though it's tough, I hope I make it. Come on.
This road is full of pain, but it's in the plan. The Lord knows you struggle and He's got your hand. The world is like a tower that's about to fall. It's hard, but do it all. You can count on
To my brothers and sisters in truth, I pray that you make it too. Lord knows I do. Such dark times, everything's gonna blow like a landmine. 10 times worse than infanticide. Stay awake, bruh. It's all about one word. 5 letters that always gotta stay up. Keep strong with the breastplate on and let Yahweh pave the way, cause He chose you. So embrace the pain. You ain't the same. You're like the ace of spades. You're the needle in the hay. You're different. You dedicated your life to walk in the Lord's way. Hey, so keep your head up. When you fall, get up. The Most High's about to hand you a crown. Long suffering, God's coming. A thief in the night. Wow.
This road is full of pain, but it's in the plan. The Lord knows you struggle and He's got your hand. The world is like a tower that's about to fall. It's hard, but do it all. You can count on God.
Yeah.
In the mix.
Make sure every day you do your own research, you seek out the truth, you stand in your truth no matter what. Yeah. Shalom. Let's get it. Use your own mind, be your own man. Use your third eye, gotta take a stand. Always walk by faith, fuck man what they say. Just always be you. keep on seeking. I had no choice, I had to make it. All them chances I kept taking on myself. All within, higher self, I channel him. Yahweh guided me, how can I lose these niggas fools? Taking COVID jabs, I see right past the hokey doke. This shit the joke, just keep your third eye woke. Cause they will try to sleep you, but my vibration rising higher. Gone, I'm gliding, wings are spreading. Now I'm flying, government spying. They trying to kill you off, one by one. Agenda 21, 22, they keep hiding the truth. Open up your eyes, stand in your truth. Open up your eyes, keep on me and you. Open up your eyes, stand in your truth. Open up your eyes, just keep on me and you. Use your own mind, be your own man. Use your third eye, gotta take a stand. Always walk by faith, fuck man what they say. Just always be you, keep on seeking truth. Growing, awaken, vibration raising. I'm flowing toxic energy, I'm shedding. Seeing everything with my third eye. You can't relate if you sleep, you a sheep. You can't see what's going on in front of you. You hypnotized by the TV. The shit getting crazy, pushing agendas. The truth is constantly hitting you, forbidden from waking up anybody. When you do, they silence it. Only way to get ahead is sell your soul. Once you jump down the rabbit hole, can't turn back. Open up your eyes, stand in your truth. Open up your eyes, keep on me and you. Open up your eyes, stand in your truth. Open up your eyes, just keep on me and you. Use your own mind, be your own man. Use your third eye, gotta take a stand. Always walk by faith, fuck man what they say. Just always be you, keep on seeking truth. Use your own mind, be your own man. Use your third eye, gotta take a stand. Always walk by faith, fuck man what they say. Just always be you, keep on seeking truth.
Comes a time when we gotta break the most high. It comes a time when we repent in the Lord's eyes. Been traumatized, we just weep until we sore eyes. Don't cross that line or we gotta let the sword fly. It comes a time when we gotta praise the most high. It comes a time when we repent in the Lord's eyes. Been traumatized, we just weep until we sore eyes. So don't cross that line when we gotta let the sword fly. All praises to the Most High. First off, I just want to say that every single day a blessing, so I'm really stepping, trying to find my way back. Counted the cost, repented of flaws, I'm trying to live. Yeah, the kingdom of heaven abroad. Have hope in my dreams, I pray it don't fall. I pray for the ones who is lost. I'm feeling the sorrow of times. I'm looking on up in the sky. I'm seeing a lot of the signs. It's either repent or you die. Cannot be walking two sides. Choose to stay who you ride for. Cemented in faith till I die. You don't really wanna fall off. Keep your head up. Keep my sword with me with armor. We won't let up. Sharpen up your brothers, others who we care for. Always shine the light for the Most High in Christ. It comes a time when we gotta praise the Most High. It comes a time when we repent in the Lord's eyes. Been traumatized, we just weep until we sore eyes. Don't cross that line or we gotta let the sword fly. It comes a time when we gotta praise the Most High. It comes a time when we repent in the Lord's eyes. Been traumatized, we just weep until we sore eyes. So don't cross that line when we gotta let the sword fly.
I wonder why we was created, but later I got my answers. Was searching scriptures daily, trying to get rid of this cancer, the spirit. Bearing witness, I live these holy commandments. Repent, or you gon' perish. Destruction is way too scary. Every day I wake, I give all praises to the Most High. Living in this lie, learn the truth, or you gon' die. Ain't much time left, the Savior coming, looking to the sky. It ain't no disguise, gotta armor up my own mind. Gotta get it, spirit dripping, these gifts don't got no limits. I'm just wishing I could live in that holy kingdom with them focused on the mission. Eyes locked in tunnel vision, no paganism. We truly follow Christ, that real Christian.
It comes a time when we gotta praise the Most High. It comes a time when we repent in the Lord's eyes. Been traumatized, we just weep until we sore eyes. Don't cross that line or we gotta let the sword fly. It comes a time when we gotta praise the Most High. It comes a time when we repent in the Lord's eyes. Been traumatized, we just weep until we sore eyes. So don't cross that line when we gotta let the sword fly.
Most High. Repent and perish.
Yeah. Gotta give our shout outs and thank yous for the support and the love. Let's start from all my peoples from around the world. Cause here at the Network of Awareness, we're international. We global, baby. Shout outs to Ukraine. Ukraine is listening to the Network of Awareness. They want some of that truth information. Shout outs to Turkey, Thailand, Philippines, the United Kingdom. Shout outs to Ethiopia. Shout outs to Russia. Shout outs to all the brothers and sisters in Portugal, Lithuania, Italy. Shout outs to all la gente in Spain, Barbados, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. Shout outs to all the people in Mexico. Shout outs to all the brothers and sisters in Japan and Greece. Shout outs to all the brothers and sisters in Germany. Let's get it crunk, Brother Ken. Shout outs to all the brothers and sisters that been rocking with me for a long time. Shout outs to all my peoples from Brazil, India, the Netherlands, Canada. Let's go. And we can't forget the US. My people's in the struggle in the United Serpents of America. Shout outs to Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, Texas, Illinois, California, New York, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Arizona, Colorado, Mississippi, South Carolina, Nevada, Arkansas, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Minnesota, Rhode Island, Tennessee, Missouri, Wisconsin, D.C., Ohio, Oklahoma, Indiana, and Massachusetts, and everybody else. Salute to you brothers and sisters in this truth. And if you haven't been aware, the Network of Awareness is here with no fear.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. Make me a nightmare for people like you.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
How you doing?
All praise Yahweh. Here we are back again, about to drop some facts again. Yahweh's word spreads like a vicious net for capturing those with an ear to listen, those who paid attention, those who stand bold like a soldier with their convictions, not quick to fold or throw in the towel when under pressure. They walk it like they talk it, they live the message. But depression's what most folks are facing. They got the vaccination, we in zombie land. Pretty soon we gon' have to dance. Better keep that sword in your body, fam, cause this far from pain, Babylon will burn down in flames. Some deaths are better off real slow, so you can witness the pain. You tortured slaves, 400 plus years of pain. Hung brothers up in the trees, swinging for days and days. Now this is your end of days, you looking so disarrayed. Try to cover unplug your ears, but the truth still gon' penetrate. The hatred is strong, but races still want to imitate and integrate. Only Yahweh's chosen holy nation can ever be this great.
Yahweh's amazing. Before I eat, I'm saying my graces. I pray for knowledge and wisdom and peace. We dwell in greatness. 144,000 frequencies and vibrations. So don't give me amp. Go take a hike and camp like concentrations. Pull up my pants, it's in my jeans to elevate genetics. I'm concentrating, no recess to dominate recessives. No car insurance, the way I swerve, they be like impressive. Stephanie Courtney know my flow is looking more progressive. My aura is a network full of awareness and gifts like Aura, the informationalist. Shout out my brother, take one. All these chances in life, don't hesitate and wait to take one. We are the true Jews, about to take off. Hitler knows we don't play soft. I pull up and let like 8 off. Watch a demon head splatter, give me back my platter that y'all just ate off.
Yo, remember what we talked about building something special as 1/3? Well, I feel like we're finally here. On Righteous Wall Street, bro. Yes, sir, let's get it.
All praise to the Most High, this is only the beginning. Righteously preparing, raising our awareness. The social engineering, just faithful forbearing. Salute to those faith in it, kings and queens creating it. That's people awakening, 2/3 be forsaking him. 1/3 keeps on praising him, putting all my faith in him. Most people be faking it, munching on some bacon bits. Ignorance remains in bliss. In this life I came to win. Righteousness I'm living in. Truth is the enlightenment. Yahweh's the embodiment of peace and redefinement. Elohim is in the science, go grown out for lions. Raising the horizons, frequency just heightens. Spirit always brightens, no fear can ever frighten. A man on the mission, living out his vision. Truth to the tradition, gaining all the wisdom. To be freed from the prison, transition with God's mercy. With the early worthy, realist, righteous visionaries.
Too many people live their life in sin. You gotta change your life before the very end. The signs of the times and we know it's coming. But I walk in this light of to and fro, you'll be running. See, I choose to serve Yahweh Elohim instead of pursue a life of finer things. So break free from vanity, iniquity, depravity, to free yourself from death and all calamity. Yeah.
Yahweh's with me, I be walking in my truth. I overcame my struggles, I'm the living proof. The truth's a weapon, just put it to good use. You can hang a lie by the neck, something like a noose. Y'all favor me, the real one, cause I'm a visionary. Committed to the truth, exposed to lies like a visionary. Tell them that the world that we live in is fucking crazy, so don't be moving shady. Y'all's protecting his people.
The world is trying to back me up against the wall like a cat. Guess what? I'm clawing out of that. Big facts. Guaranteed no pussies over here. When it all goes down, I'm negating all fear. You hear? Lend me your ear like a homeless man asking for $1. The irony in that 2/3 are going to holler, cause it's not gonna work shit. You dead, put your body in the ditch if your ass cannot handle it. The elite is playing with us, call it Squid Games. You decide if you want your brains falling on your lap and let the rats eat it. Just to be safe, no honor in that. I'd rather be with killers that spit facts. You would never see me selling my ass for some cash. Hollywood is gonna burn down and crash. I'm a bit excited about this. No tear dropping when it really ends. It's going to hit like Goku fist. Good demons cannot block this.
Ain't it funny how we went from whips and chains? Now the only thing we sing about is our whips and platinum chains. Instead of seeking the Most High, they'd rather seek the fame. So what's changed? They tried voting, they tried marching, and a damn thing changed. We still got burned and hung from a tree. Now you want to be a Mason of the 33rd degree. Yahweh never died on a cross, he died on a tree. So what's changed? I tell you what's changed. Now we know the truth. Hebrews are the chosen people, and Judah is the proof. Shalom, Barakatah, and salute.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk.
In the mix.
Fight the power, take tomorrow back and wipe the slate clean. We ain't gon' cower to these cowards, we gon' stand for what's right. Get hype in this mug while we spreading the light. Where my soldiers at? Get it going, we gon' show them we ain't cheap. Yo, it's over, overthrow they ass. Let them know you're mad, bring it to them right where they stay. Don't trip, tater chip, love wins at the end of the day. Stick it to the man, stick it to the man. Revolutionary, getting litty with the fan. Yeah, I be on my grizzy, getting busy for the plan. It ask me why I did it, yo, I did it cause I can. Nothing gonna stop me, finna hit them till they can't take it anymore, they gon' give us all the man. Youth gon' rise up, stick it to the man. I'ma rage till I die, cause this is who I am. Fat cats eating while the rest of us starve. We can't have that, fed up, get ready for war. Can't half-ass revolution doing the most. We won't go quiet, don't listen to us, you talk. We done playing with you, it ain't a game, yo, we making history. Read, baby, fuck the fame, I wanna change the system. Break your prison, got the key for the lock. Won't stop till we free and my people on top. Oh God, homie, is you really with us, so what you bout? Make a decision, get busy living, so out for the real things. You are what you do. Who are you? I'm definitely and I came to rule. Stick it to the man, stick it to the man. Youth gon' rise up, stick it to the man. Youth gon' rise up, stick it to the man. Youth gon' rise up, stick it to the man. Run up in the Senate, niggas, hush. Think you getting over on us, but you not. This
system has been rigged, the government's been bought. The house don't represent us, it represents the ops. Stand with standing by, take the man right out. God damn it, we ain't having what you handing out. We want clean air, clean food, water, a future for our kids, bitch, this a new order. Tear down the wall, love is for all. Death to the man in the system we call. Freedom ain't free if you can't breathe. Real people stay woke, we ain't gon' sleep. Get it crackin', packin' activism. A full clip, show them crackers, we ain't having all that bullshit. The aristocracy is gonna share starting now. Stick it to the man, pull the trigger. Blah. Stick it to the man. Stick it to the man. Stick it to the man. Stick it to the man.
Stick it to the motherfucking man.
Tightrope Tuesdays, baby. We're coming for heads. Righteously.
They know I got the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
It's time to ride or die, homie.
Yeah, it's time to ride or die, homie.
Man, this how we survive, homie.
Yeah, this how we survive, homie.
That's why I keep the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
This word is for the wise, either ride or you gon' die. It's the blind leading the blind, we been fighting for our rights. Now we fighting for our life, still no light I see inside. But I see the light inside and pray I don't go out my mind. I got a 9 in my hand and a couple of bullets. All I need is a reason for me to load it and pull it. There goes one in the shoulder, another one in the leg. Gotta finish the job and put another one in his head. I was told it's him or me, I'ma live to see another day. Killer do the killing, I don't see it any other way. People do the talking, I don't care what motherfuckers say. Keep your social distance or you getting blown the fuck away. No more Mr. Nice Guy, gotta be the bad boy. I'm on high alert, I got all of you niggas paranoid. I'm way too much at peace for you to ever bother mine. That's the bottom line, cause we all live in them all time. The 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me.
It's time to ride or die, homie.
Yeah, it's time to ride or die, homie.
Man, this how we survive, homie.
Yeah, this how we survive, homie.
That's why I keep the 9 on me.
Yeah, you know I got the 9 on me. Do or die till I die, homie. I leave a nigga paralyzed, homie. What you know about the 9 on me? With that 45, feel like plies, homie. I look up at the sky like I'm the guy, homie. Got him grinding off the muscle you supply for me. What you know about your bestie trying to ride on you? I ain't never tell, bitch, I define loyal. That type of other shit just make my blood boil you. How you hate me after all the shit I done for you? Now I'm forced to get my head right, but that's kinda hard with you to dodge death twice. Respect life, but this ain't a show, I'm dead nice. I'm the one that could bring us to the next fight. Shed light over everything bad, I'm the one with a gun, it's a tech bite. Blah.
ever heard.
Attitude reflect leadership.
Attitude reflect leadership.
Attitude reflect leadership.
Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership. Attitude reflect leadership.
All right, we're back. Oh, let me take off that delay. All right. So, welcome back, brothers and sisters, to this live broadcast on Tightrope Tuesdays. And this is the Vigorous variant Vocation. So this mission to persistently push variants down the minds of the masses around the world is something that now has graduated to a level of buffoonery that we've never seen before. And what do I speak of when I talk about this level of buffoonery? We're talking about the ninja variant. They might as well just have said the Ninja Turtle variant, you know? That probably would have been more appropriate. But it says that the new ninja variant is the most dangerous one yet. And it's why is the ninja variant the most, deadliest variant of them all as of present day? Well, let's look into this. And I typed it up, Now, there are different types of articles in regards to this. I'm pulling up an article from the Health Leaders Media. So let's look at this full story when it comes to... Now, one thing I want to say, notice how my microphone is getting distortion. You brothers and sisters may not hear it, but I hear it on my end. I just find it interesting that the moment I said this shit, the moment I came back, everything's been flowing smoothly, right? But the moment I say these words, this is where I was talking about algorithms, brothers and sisters. Pay close attention in case you ever get into some type of media content or whatever it is that you do that's going to be out there in the cyber world. They have these algorithms, people, that they pick up on words. The Pentagon has had this shit for decades. And it's certain trigger words that trigger certain systems and recording devices. And I definitely know that I'm on one of those systems because the shit that be happening to this network, especially when I try to pay like a legitimate agency to campaign my podcast to gain more listeners legitimately, the shit didn't fucking work. So I know I got an X on my back, but I'm not scared because I roll with the Most High. And I heard it a long time ago. If I walk with the Most High, what is there to fear? So this ninja COVID variant is the most dangerous one yet, according to this article from David Axe. It says the BA.5 subvariant can slip past the body's defenses easier than any of its predecessors. Ooh. So it says the latest subvariant of the novel coronavirus to become dominant in Europe, the United States, and other places. And you have to ask yourself, how do they know it's going to be dominant? Like, how can you predict a particular subvariant that we're calling it, right? We're just using the terms that they give us. But how can you even predict that a subvariant or variant is going to be spreading in specific places around the world? How's that possible? But this just goes further to prove why we do what we do in revealing and exposing that which is true opposed to that which isn't true. It says the BA.5 subvariant of the basic Omicron variant appears to be more contagious than any previous form of the virus. It is apparently better at dodging our antibodies too, meaning it might be more likely to cause breakthrough and repeat infections. How convenient that this comes in a time where a lot of people have taken the satanic serum that is constantly making them ill. It says that the vaccines and boosters are still the best defense. There are even Omicron-specific booster jabs in the development that in coming months can make the best vaccines more effective against BA.5 and its genetic cousins. It's just a whole family of fuckery here. Still, BA.5 ongoing romp across half the planet is a strong reminder that the COVID pandemic isn't over. We're not done yet by any stretch. Eric Topol, founder and director of the Scripps Research Translational Institute in California, wrote in his Substack, high levels of at least partial immunity from vaccines and past infection continue to prevent the worst outcomes. Matter of fact, let me give it the proper sound effect. It also says that high levels, like I said, partial immunity from vaccines and past infections, and mass hospitalization and death. But globally, raw case numbers are surging with serious implications for potential millions of people who face a growing risk of long-term illness. People, understand this. Agenda 21 is fucking real. It's realer than the fucking oxygen that you breathe in and out and the carbon monoxide that we exhale. It is fucking real. And if you look at the time span that I've been honing down on for quite some time, this 7-year period that we have left, a lot of the world's population can decrease. And it will. Because the scriptures says that it will, because there's going to be a lot of death. This is just the beginning of it. And if there's going to be a long-term illness, what is that long-term illness that they describe? The long-term illness is that these people that have no immune system or debilitated immune systems are going to be dropping like flies from all types of shit, as they are doing right now as I speak. And for those that haven't woke up to this reality, I don't know what fucking planet or dimension you're on, but it goes to show that this is real spiritual warfare when it comes to judgment. And I truly believe that many of you that don't want to believe this to be true, or even try to sit down and shut the fuck up and listen, is because you are lacking something spiritual in you. And the Most High is not even recognizing your essence. And I believe that many of you are just the forgotten, or the ones that don't need to be found or don't want to be found. And it doesn't say that many of you haven't gotten the opportunity, but those that still have an opportunity, pay heed to these messages, because it's only but so long that these messages are going to be available to you. It's time to wake up and understand that the world that you believe to be real is fake as fuck. And the spirit that's within you, the spirit that you are, the expression of light that you represent, is all that is real. It is the only true reality. And the better and sooner that you accept and understand and pursue that truth, the sooner the better you can be healed and be able to progress in this tumultuous life that we are all being challenged with, because faith is a test. It's the test of life. I'm going to continue with this BA.5, also known as the subvariant of Omicron, which is now called the Ninja variant. Equally worrying, the latest wave of infections is giving the coronavirus the time and space it needs to mutate into even more dangerous variants and subvariants. And that's where this vocation comes in. And that's where the vigorous persistence comes in. Because not only do they have variants, they have subvariants, which gives more excuses to make something that is completely farce, that's completely make-believe real. And I'm probably going to be flagged on YouTube because I forgot to unmark the distribution to YouTube for this channel. But it is what it is. YouTube's going to flag me. They'll flag me. Equally worrying about this, the development of variants is now a freight train. Erwin Redner, the founding director of Columbia University National Center of Disaster Preparedness, told the Daily Beast. Isn't it interesting, people, that the director for the Center of Disaster Preparedness is making a very strong statement to say that the development of variants is now a freight train. A freight train in the mind of the masses. In other words, unstoppable. BA.5 first turned up in viral samples in South Africa. You notice how it always stems from South Africa. Everything does. When it comes to disease, they want to give all the credit to Africa. But when it comes to wealth, knowledge, and spirituality, Africa is last on their list. By May, it was dominant in Europe and Israel, displacing earlier forms of the basic Omicron variant while also driving an increase in global daily COVID cases from around 477,000 a day in early June to 820,000 a day this week. Oh, how convenient. And how convenient that they can track these numbers in real time. I'm talking about the level of intelligence and just pure logic in the way people think is fucking distorted like a motherfucker. In late June, it says that the BA.5 became dominant in the United States. Cases haven't even increased yet. The daily average has hovered around 100,000 since May. But that could change in coming weeks as BA.5 continues to outcompete less transmissible subvariants. Topple offered a concise explanation for BA.5's ascendancy, where the mutations that produce many earlier variants mostly affected the spike protein, the part of the virus that helps it grab on and infect our cells. BA.5 has mutations across its structure. BA.5 is quite distinct and very fit, representing marked differences from other prior variants, Topple wrote. And the BA.5's widespread mutations made the subvariant less recognizable to all those antibodies we built up from vaccines. And you see, they say this wording, and they have to write like this if they're part of the commercial media. But we all know, brothers and sisters, that it is the very science appliance that is breaking down any form of antibody that your body naturally produces. Because what's happening is there is something taking over the original nucleus to who you are as a human species, a vessel, an expression of the Most High. And what they're doing is they're interfering with the blueprint that the Most High laid out for you, that has for you. And what they're doing is they're taking that blueprint of you, of your DNA, and rearranging it. And taking the Most High out of the blueprint. They're restructuring the Most High's blueprint. And when that pineal gland calcifies, the Most High is no longer available. Even if you want the Most High to be available. Let's continue. The article says that the B8.5's widespread mutation made the subvariant less recognizable to all antibodies we built from vaccines, boosters, and past infections. B8.5 has been able to slip past our immune systems. Ninja style. There it goes. Ninja style. Contributing to the rising rate of breakthrough cases and reinfections. So what they're basically doing, people, Ninja variant is nothing more than the adverse reactions from the science appliance when it was first given, whether it was in the 2 or 1 dose. But for most people, it was the 2 doser, and they got dosed the fuck out. And this is just an explanation as to all of the illness that the first and second and third sequence of science appliances that were administered are now causing more illness to provide more treatment, to make more money, and to create more death. I think enough has been said on that, because that's where this all sums up. This all sums up, people. And just to read this, it's not the last paragraph, but I'm going to read this one more paragraph just to put the nail in the coffin. This comes as no surprise, as the epidemiologists who have warned for many months now that persistently high case rates, which they largely attribute in part to a stubborn anti-vax minority in many countries who facilitate ever more infectious and invasive variants and subvariants. And this is where a lot of the propaganda is placed. It's placed on the innocent. It's placed on people like you and I, where you and I are not getting severely ill. I got sick from this food that I ate that it took me a while to recover from. And it was also the traveling and all this shit that I was doing that I normally don't do on a regular basis. But they're blaming people like us for why everybody else is continuously getting sick. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that a lot of people that are getting sick are only the ones that took the science appliance. And then, if for some forsaken reason, somebody that didn't take the science appliance gets sick, they're going to blow that fucking whatever that cold or flu or basic illness that you acquire every year, they're going to turn it into a shit show. They're going to turn it into a dog and pony show. And they're going to exaggerate the shit out of it and make you look like you're the fucking problem. And they've been doing a great job at it because most people in this country are stupid enough to believe this bullshit. And there's a lot of COVID cadets. Don't get it twisted, people. There's a lot. Now all 2/3 of society is COVID cadetish. But best believe there is a lot of COVID cadetry that is circulating around the world. Some of them are even in your own fucking family. There's still people right now that are so dumb that they're going to family barbecues out in the fucking open with their mask on. Can't make this shit up. And now that same family member is probably going to look at you and say, oh, Aunt Sally, why you got the mask on? Oh, because you may have the Ninja variant and might not even know that you have it. What's that? What's that, Auntie Sally? Oh, that's the subvariant that literally slips past your immune system, ninja style. Shinobi. The world that we live in is such a fucked up place, isn't it? But I wouldn't have it in any other way. All praise to the Most High. Brothers and sisters, since this is Vigorous Variant Vocation Part 3, let's play another song and then we'll wrap things up here at the Network of Awareness. Let's go. Let's play the Network of Awareness anti science appliance song.
Peace, brother. I don't have a lot of time, Take. They got the dogs on me. You know, they really trying to get me to take this science appliance, brother. And you know I'm not doing that, man.
Oh, where you at?
Not doing it. I'm in an undisclosed location right now. Up in the nature spot near that cabin I used to go to. But they got the dogs tracking me. They got the satellites. So they eventually gonna get here. I got it barricaded, you know what I'm saying? Because the only way I'm taking that jab is if I'm in a bag, brother. So Take, I just want to tell you this before anything else happens, and I want to get this out to you and let you know. All right, brother, Take, you're at the door. I gotta tell you, just listen, brother, just listen.
Now it's time to get out your own way. Allow Yahweh, today is your day to amaze in many ways. Cause it's just another phase in this infinite space where Yah be giving us grace. I'm working the race with diligent praise, unwavering faith. I'll be damned if I stray from Yah's will and embrace. Man sealed his fate with his ignorant ways. The world is disgraced, vibration has raised at a very fast pace. I'm present today in high frequency waves. No more being enslaved, all praise to Yahweh. A Hebrew warrior from the land of the brave. From the cradle to the grave to my very last day. Send a serpent to his cave, God favored my way. Never fearful or timid, it was written and given. No religion, division can stop a messenger that's fulfilling his mission.
It'll only get worse before they get better. But the storm ain't meant to last forever. Even when the light is dim, the sun finds a way to shine again. Things are getting ugly, things are getting cold, but I know it's best to stay in my zone. And I can't stop now, I can't stop now.
I can't stop and won't stop, I gotta keep propelling. Final destination is a room in the heavens. Diligence and militance, his will is my medicine. I can live without a half, but his love is my everything. COVID is on the road, got the world on its toes. So many sheep with their eyes closed. Hey sir, would you like to take the jab? Man, kiss my ass, stop living by what the news told you. You got injustice, brutality saturating the streets. Blood spilling for no reason, thanks to the police. Meanwhile, syringes are being taken with speed. Can't do it, you ain't sticking no vaccination to me. Despite all the chaos, I still manage to stay on the right path. Gotta keep my focus and my faith strong. All day long, let spiritual music play on. All the honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh.
Things only get worse before they get better. But the storm ain't meant to last forever. Even when the light is dim, the sun finds a way to shine again. Things are getting ugly, things are getting cold, but I know it's best to stay in my zone. And I can't stop now, I can't stop now.
Can't stop, I won't stop. 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 Can't stop, I won't stop.
Yes. So, brothers and sisters, we're coming to the end of this live broadcast for Tightrope Tuesday from the Network of Awareness, episode 42, Vigorous Variant Vocation 3. And I hope that this episode gave you great substance. I hope that you are aware and prepared for what's to come when it comes to the vigorous variant vocation, and to always be true to the Most High and have an enormous amount of faith over fear, especially when it comes to the medical tyranny that has plagued the globe, the world. And if there's anything that I would like for you to take away from today's episode, is to understand that this is going to continue to persist. And there's not much that you can do about to change its level of persistency. But what you can do is be an example of resistance. Be an example of true spiritual revolution, to not conform to any societal standards when it comes to the status quo, when it comes to the sheeple, when it comes to those that have no essence, no presence, and no relationship with the Most High. So, brothers and sisters, when you live in the present, there is always an opportunity for a new beginning. So start a new beginning in understanding this spiritual warfare that you currently are in. And make a choice if you are choosing to be a warrior for Yah, or if you choose to be a victim, if you choose to be sheep for the slaughter. Don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is and always will be within you. So light up the tunnel and find your way through the darkness. This is Or the Informationalist saying peace, love, and light. And Barakatah, brothers and sisters, forever favors.